welcome to the Farmcast.
Re mi fa sol la ti do ti la so fa mi re do. Beautiful, boys.
Sing, now that I've got Hamilton on the brain, I'll sing some Hamilton. It must be nice to have Washington on your side.
Hey.
I'm the most tone-deaf person you'll ever get.
Hey.
Feel free to snap along.
I can only snap with one hand.
What?
I can kind of do it too.
I can't snap. I'm right-handed. I can't snap with my right hand. My left hand, I got no issue.
Okay.
You do the pack-a-lip thing?
No. I am just... I don't have this motion down. It eludes me.
Well, I hope you're recording that.
Oh, I am. And on that note, welcome back to another episode, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, the Farmcast. We're back again. Today, we're going to be hitting the people with some controversy. I'm assuming, kind of, or maybe some facts, depending on how you want to view this.
I actually think we have the most correct takes you could ask for. We are going to be providing clarity for people because we're going to be bringing up some sports figures that may be a little bit more controversial. You might be thinking, is he really good or is he really bad? But we're going to set it all straight for everybody. We're going to organize it in our most overrated, our most underrated players. It's going to be kind of a loose list, not like a top 3 thing. We're just going to kind of be spitballing our players.
I'm glad that you have already agreed with my most underrated player, so I'm glad you kicked it off, so there's no arguing this one, which there shouldn't anyways. But I'm going to kick us off with a player who I think is very underrated. I think he's probably there's a lot of players I think are underrated in NFL history, but I think this guy is one of them, and first off, I hate the game of QBA and QBB. Which one do you choose? It treats you like a fucking idiot. It's like, yeah, I want the QB with the better numbers. With that being said, guys, we're going to play a game of QBA and QBB. QBA had 4,000 yards, 4,042 yards, 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, went to a Pro Bowl, and was 21 years old this season. QBB had 2,843 yards, 18 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and was age 24 in this season. Do you guys know who, just take a wild guess who these QBs might be? Just kidding, it would be completely impossible to choose. But, let's just say one of those, They were both Pro Bowlers, one of those QBs won a Super Bowl, and I guess it was technically both of theirs first full season starting. Pretty comparable numbers, I'd say. I am comparing Tom Brady, the year he won a Super Bowl in 2001, to Jameis Winston's rookie season. God. Jameis Winston, and I'm not even going down the Tom Brady road of being overrated. I easily could. But I almost don't even feel like that because I didn't even know he threw 50 touchdowns in 2007 or 8, whatever it was. Not so. But this is about Jameis Winston because seriously, it is still to this day insane how. So last season he had his big 5,000 yard season, 33 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. It's a lot of interceptions, but he is one of only 8 QBs ever to throw for 5,000 yards. That's Dan Marino, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, and Pat Mahomes. Jameis Winston. Like,
I know you're really off on a good flow here.
Yeah.
But how many of them threw 30 interceptions in a season?
Well, I'm looking at this stat right now. You're interrupting my flow. Do you know what all of those QBs have in common? They were showered with MVPs, Offensive Players of the Year. They were all given votes. You know what Jameis Winston got? Free agency, veteran minimum, backup QB. That is so unfair. Jameis Winston should be a starter. I'm not saying he's up there with those names, but he should without a doubt be a starter in the NFL next year. It is so stupid that he isn't. It's unbelievable. And yeah, he's just been consistently. And even if you want to compare from 2016 to 2019, Jameis Winston had 5,737 yards, 61% completions, 99 touchdowns, 83 interceptions. A lot of interceptions, but compare that to Dak Prescott, the numbers are pretty comparable outside of the interceptions. 15,778 yards, 65% completion, and 97 touchdowns.
Now, here is the issue with every Jameis statistic in the entire world, and stats do not do this man any justice, because, well, they do him too much justice, actually. The whole reason Jameis Winston throws for so many yards is because the man cannot stop throwing game-breaking, back-breaking interceptions to always have his team down, so they're always in throwing situations. It doesn't help that he never had a running game. I will give you that. But
this man had Ronald Jones and Peyton Barber.
Ronald Jones isn't that bad. Watching Jameis Winston play is hilarious because the man literally cannot stop himself from throwing the funniest, most embarrassing interceptions. Always usually pick sixes, which means, hey, he gets the ball right back, his team is losing, and
he always gets it. It's never out of range. It's never out of range because Jameis can go on a tear.
You know why those other guys got the awards, the Offensive Players of the Years, the MVPs? Because their teams actually won games because of how good they were playing.
I'm not saying, again,
Jameis is throwing his team out of almost every game he plays in.
I agree, but again, I'm not saying this man's MVP. I'm saying this man should be a starter in the NFL. It's ridiculous he isn't. It really is ridiculous. Like, you can't tell me someone with that ceiling doesn't deserve a starting position.
I do think he should be. I think he could be a starter somewhere. I don't think there are 32 better QBs, but I know there's a lot of like the counterculture arguments with Jameis Winston where it's like, actually, he's one of the best young quarterbacks ever, according to statistics. It's like, that's what always kind of loses me.
The way I see it is just like Jared Goff gets paid, Mitch Trubisky he's still somehow a starter in the QB, could get paid, but no one will give up on these QBs who haven't showed near the ceiling that Jameis
went
has.
To a Super Bowl.
Well, okay,
are you damn well in going to that Super Bowl?
Hey, if you want a Jared Goff over Jameis Winston, go for it. All I'm saying is the upside with Jameis, giving up on him now, like it looks like a lot of QBs have, or a lot of teams have, is really stupid because the raw talent is there. Yes, he needs to work on the whole, but this man played legally blind last year. He got his eyes fixed. How many other QBs in that list have done that?
How many quarterbacks don't take the responsibility to say, hey, I think I might need help seeing? I don't think you have other quarterbacks that dumb.
I don't think you have other QBs who would even risk that chance. Jameis put it on the line for a team that could have made playoffs.
Yeah.
Got some fucking contacts. Other players play with contacts.
If you've had bad eyes for so long, you probably don't even know it because you're so used to it.
I think that's great.
That's a fair argument. I think that argument can be made.
Yeah.
I don't at all. I feel like at some point in your life, you're kind of realizing when somebody is seeing something. Like, I realized this when I was like, I don't know, 8. When it's like, I can't see as far as other people. There's probably something wrong. Most people come to that conclusion.
Not Jameis. What are you trying to say?
That's the point.
Hey, the thing is, this man, I really think, I'm not saying, this man's going to be a Hall of Famer. I'm saying he should be a starter, and the fact that he was tossed out there and disrespected for what he's done. He made a Pro Bowl. Like, come on. And just to be...
Trubisky?
Yeah. No, not Trubisky. Jameis. Jameis made a Pro Bowl.
No, I'm saying I think Trubisky has made a Pro Bowl.
Trubisky has made a Pro Bowl, yeah.
That's sad.
Right. It was the year the Bears went to the playoffs, so I kind of get it. Like, I mean, Aaron Rodgers was, like, dead for half of that year, so... But I don't know. I just think what I do know is that right now we're talking about Dak Prescott. He's going to get paid and deservingly so, but Jameis isn't. Jameis gets.
How do you feel about Jameis? You a Jameis guy or no?
Me?
Yeah.
I am more on the Jameis believer side than I am on the Jameis is bad side.
Yeah.
I do think Jameis Winston is better than the likes of Dwayne Haskins.
Right.
I think he's better than Nick. I mean, it's hard to say he's better than Nick Foles, but he deserves a starting spot more than Drew Lock.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give up on Drew Lock.
I don't like Drew Lock.
Okay.
I don't think Drew Lock's that good.
I didn't
mention Derek
He had
Carr.
a heck of a half season.
Derek Carr,
Derek Carr.
you know.
That one I really struggle with. I think that's the closest one where it's like, would you rather have this or this guy?
I would have Jameis over.
I would
Derek
rather
Carr.
have neither, but
I would
That's
have.
a tough
I would
one,
be
I
happy to have. Dude, Jameis on the Raiders. What a sick team. What a sick fucking team that would be.
I do think it's shitty that Jameis had to wait a long time, like Cam Newton had to wait a long time, and they did not get paid very much.
Yo.
And then Marcus Mariota goes, and I think he's making like 10 mil this year to be the backup. For the
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, I was going to bring that up. Like, I didn't want to step on the Jameis Winston talk, but I think there's just something going on right now because nobody wanted to give Cam Newton a shot. Nobody wanted to give Jameis Winston a shot. Guys,
it makes you think.
It does. It's like I don't want to say we got some racial things going on.
No,
but
we do. I'll say it proudly.
Yeah.
I'll say it proudly. Cam Newton, actually, I didn't write any notes down for him. If we're talking underrated NFL players right now, Cam Newton should be in that. Dude, the slander that he's had. I get it. I get it.
I don't.
What do you mean?
I mean, other than like he plays through injury, which is what like fans and everybody fucking wants, is somebody who will play through injury.
Right.
Like he's been elite when he's healthy and on the field.
Exactly.
People just don't like Cam Newton because he's loud. He listens to rap music. He, along with every other player in the NFL, celebrates their touchdowns. God forbid Cam.
Funny. He texts funny. I don't like the way those letters look.
He dresses funny. He wears weird things.
Oh my god,
dude!
Tell you what,
I hate the fact he's on the Patriots.
The one I can see the most, the way he does type is very infuriating. If you want that to be the reason you don't like Cam,
How does he type? I don't even know.
Go on his Instagram.
Wingdings.
Yeah, he literally.
Cam Newton has thrown for at least 3,000 yards every single year in his career, other than last year.
It's I don't know. It's so stupid. The hate's gone too far with him, and I hate the fact he's on the Patriots because like
he's gonna be.
They aren't going to appreciate him at all in the slightest, dude. Like,
I think they will. I think New England is going to embrace Cam.
I hope so, only because I like Cam Newton, and I think he's been stupid beat up the last because he played dead practically. I just think if he makes a mistake that costs them a game, it's Cam. It's only Cam.
I hope that's the reason that he played that bad last year. Because if you guys like watched him,
it was bad.
Good lord, was he bad? Like he was one of the worst QBs I saw last year for the limited time. I really do just hope it was the injuries and everything. But I mean, plenty of quarterbacks have had a couple bad seasons and they've still gotten paid. Marcus Mariota got paid. Ryan Tannehill just got $100 million. What are we talking about?
I really, and I will roll the dice and say it was because he's just had injury problems. I hope a year off, and that time he's had off, I hope it's kind of like, I hope he can prove everything wrong, because a healthy Cam is a fucking dirty Cam, and it's good for the NFL.
Okay, just talking NFL quarterbacks right now. Did you guys see the Pat Mahomes contract?
Yes.
I mean, holy shit. Holy shit.
Okay. Did you guys actually know that you could tie your salary to whatever percentage of the cap?
Yeah.
I never knew that was a thing in the NFL.
I think Russell Wilson was the first one to try that, and they didn't allow Russell Wilson to. The Seahawks didn't.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. That was the rumor that it was a percentage. I think they shot that down, though, because the Chiefs said that's something they didn't want.
Yeah,
I think it's a hard number.
Yeah, it's like 10 years, $450 million.
Yeah. It's still nuts, though. It's not a percentage. So the Chiefs in a couple of years could be like Pat Mahomes will be like sitting like he'll just be like an average paid QB in like 5 years. Like, I don't know. That's a great...
Getting paid $45 million.
It's just that crazy.
Holy. You know what they call it? Chump change.
Yeah.
And then I saw if he gets injured, he still gets like $140 million guaranteed.
Good. The way it should fucking be.
Yeah.
A big contract. I hate that.
Yeah.
Oh, that fired me up.
It was a great contract, though, for everyone. I mean, everyone wins in that.
Especially Pat Mahomes.
Especially Pat Mahomes.
They get to keep Jackson on the sidelines, so we get TikToks for another decade out of the Mahomes.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Yep.
Now, I don't think we have any disagreements. I think we can all say this. Best quarterback in the league, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe best quarterback of all time, Pat Mahomes, honestly.
Look, you won't catch me trying to argue that.
Hey, on the path he's going, I won't argue it.
I want to get back to underrated athletes. And I want to say this. He's underrated, and most importantly, the most over-hated athlete that has been in Wisconsin. I can think of any athlete in general. Eddie Lacy has gotten more crap than any Packer I have ever seen in my life, and it absolutely makes me sick. Eddie Lacy was very good for like 3 years for the Packers. And look, ladies and gentlemen, NFL running backs ain't built to last these days. If you get 3 good seasons, and I'm talking really good seasons out of a running back, is that a disappointment all of a sudden? Because whenever I hear Eddie Lacy's name brought up out of Packer fans nowadays, it's nothing but disrespect coming out of their mouths. Like, everybody loves to pile on him. He loves the Chinese buffet, the fat joke here. It's like, are we not better than this a little bit? This dude won, I think he won Rookie of the Year. Then he proceeded to rush for, or his rookie year, he rushed for 1,100 yards. Next year, also 1,100 yards, scoring 13 touchdowns. Next year, I believe he was hurt for most of the season. And then the next year, he was also hurt. That was it. That was it. So, 4 years, 2-year contract in 3 of those years. And when he was on the field in 2015, he was fine. He was good. Like, Eddie Lacy was... I've never seen a guy that big with that nimble of feet. People forget he could catch. And maybe my favorite spin move of all time, because seeing a guy like that with the sweet feet, that B button, circle button move on him was nasty. I'm sick of Eddie Lacy slander.
I love this take. It sucks that, Eddie Lacy is going to be, like you said, remembered by many people as the fat. And it sucks because this man beat out Le'Veon Bell for Rookie of the Year. Like, he was so impressive. And you're right. You hope to get, sometimes you get a career-long running back that's good for however many years, but in most cases you don't. And it's not like quarterback where you need that to get to the next level. He was on some incredible Packer teams. Some not so good ones too, but I don't blame that in the slightest on him. He had injury problems, and just, I guess, that's what we always wanted. We went through years of bouncing back between, James Starks. No disrespect to the GOAT.
Sam Congato.
No, Sam Congato was... Okay, now we're talking...
Sam Congato was sick, but...
Here's the thing I think everybody has kind of forgotten. Those pre-Eddie Lacy years were embarrassing how little we got out of the running game. I believe we went 2 seasons without a 100-yard rusher until Brandon Jackson got lucky and ran for 70 yards on one rush in a game against the Bengals once. I mean, it's embarrassing.
We broke records for streaks without having like you just said. It was really bad. And Eddie Lacy came and made everyone excited for the coolest personality-wise, too. Eddie Lacy's a sick dude. He doesn't even like watching football. He'd rather watch anime than football.
And you know what? I get it. No, and here's the thing, too. Packer fans, like, I am a Packer fan, but I'll be the first to point out, Packer fans are the most pompous fucking fans ever. We'll talk about what a great fan base we are, and then we'll go shit on our former players like this. Like, and it's ridiculous. It's so sad. It's not like we paid him a shit ton of money, and then he just decided to tank either. Like, ran out his rookie deal. He played hard. He played when he could. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say about that.
Love that take.
Yeah, wholeheartedly agree. So for my most underrated player, this guy has had a decorated, storied career. Nobody's arguing that this guy's bad. I just don't think he gets quite enough love for what he did across 2 leagues. That man is Ichiro Suzuki.
Oh.
Ichiro Suzuki finished his career at the age of 45 after playing he started when he was 27, I think.
27.
So he played 19 years in the MLB on top of playing 8 years in Japan. He finished with 3,089 hits in the MLB. If he would have been able to come over when he was 18, there was some sort of contract dispute where the Japan team, when the Mariners signed him, the Japan team said they were going to keep him for 7 years or something like that. And then when he came over, he'd be a Mariner. He had 1,200 hits in Japan. So if he would have came over when he was 18, he could have had over 4,000 hits in the MLB, which is fucking insane. Some interesting stats about Ichiro. After his 10th career at bat in the MLB, his career batting average never dipped below 300 for 19 years. How insane is that?
That is ludicrous.
Like, okay, so he batted over 350 3 times in his career. He never struck out more than 86 times in a season.
And that's really insane because he didn't really walk either. So he was always swinging and did not strike out as much as he swung. Ludicrous.
Yeah.
Ludicrous.
Yeah, the bat to ball skill, like, almost unmatched. He had 10 straight All-Star appearances his 10 first years in the MLB. His rookie year won Rookie of the Year, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, and the fucking MVP as a goddamn rookie.
Jeez.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
And remember this. Consider the year that happened. That was 2001.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody remembers what was going on in 2001 in baseball, but that was the biggest offensive explosion of all time with Barry. I think that was the year Barry hit 73. Just multiple guys hitting 60, and then Ichiro comes over, and within the AL, he's still better than all those other hitters. I mean, without hitting dings. And I think he could have, too. There's, like, a whole thing about whether Ichiro is actually, like, a secret, like, power hitter slugger, but just didn't focus on it, because there's this whole thing, because if you know, like, his batting practices are just legendary for how, like, intense they are, focused they are, and flat-out ridiculous they are. Like, anytime he wanted to in batting practice, and this continued through age 40, he would put a ball over the fence every time he wanted to. I mean...
And he'd put it where he wanted to put it.
And it was like third deck. I mean, this guy, like, Ichiro could have really slugged.
Yeah. But his rookie year, he played 157 games, had 692 at-bats. He had 242 hits, batted 350, and on top of that, had 56 stolen bases. Like, this guy just came and took the MLB by fucking storm. Took him by the nuts and didn't give up until he was about 45 years old, but he was, like, consistently good up until he was, like, 42.
And you know what? Also, you haven't even mentioned it. The dude had a cannon in right field.
One of the best.
Oh my god!
One of, if not the best defensive right fielder of all time.
Disgusting.
It was insanely good. Yeah, on top of his 10 straight All-Star appearances, he had 9 Gold Gloves in those 10 seasons, so that backs that up. in 15 straight years, up until he was age 42, stole at least 10 bases every single year. Yeah, I just think Ichiro, I don't think Ichiro gets hated on. I just don't think he gets quite as much love as he deserves.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen anyone hate on Ichiro.
No.
But
No.
it does feel weird, like a legend like that. I mean, he's only been gone like a year, but I mean, it's like silent and forgotten what he did. It does feel underappreciated because we'll jerk off Derek Jeter till the cows come home, but then we just like never mention Ichiro. It is strange.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if you combine, also maybe one of the biggest like what ifs, because if he came over when he was 18 and played in the MLB, he could be the best baseball player of all fucking time.
I mean, I'd rather he have the hit record than a douchebag like Pete Rose.
Yeah.
And also, so a lot when it comes to like the Japanese leagues, it's widely understood that it's better than AAA, but with just like a hair beneath the MLB as far as like talent level and everything in the Japanese leagues. And he had all those hits there at an incredibly young age. And then so he had over 4,000 in professional leagues altogether. And then you have
4,367.
Right.
Yes.
The most all time. And then, of course, you have Pete Rose saying, it doesn't count. It was in Japan. Like, okay, dude. Like, get out of here.
Yeah. No, it's just some bullshit. But yeah, Ichiro. I fucking love Ichiro, man. I love him. He played 26 years of professional baseball. Like, that is insane to me.
That is
He
crazy.
get bored.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like, being that good that long.
Yeah.
He literally played more baseball than we've been on this planet.
Literally.
Yeah. And some change.
Right.
I just don't think he knew anything else. Like, that was like, that's it. He was that dedicated with baseball.
Jeez.
Yeah. I think if he like came out now, like if he was like, starting his career within the last 5 years, I think there would almost be like kind of like an allure around him, kind of like Trevor Bauer, because he was like super scientific the way he took his approach to the game, like super methodical and everything, but also just loved it and loved having fun out on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Ichiro, awesome. Oh, also maybe one of the best quotes of all time when he threw in his rookie year. He threw a guy out at third base, and they asked him after the game what he thought about it, and he said, "Well, I don't know why he would go to third. He knew I was going to throw him out."
Oh, that's so cool. It's
so to the point. Like, I mean, I am out there.
Yeah.
And this is coming from all like 5'8" of them, just out in right field, and just a hose.
Oh, my God. Jeez. Oh.
Well, yeah, Ichiro, very good.
Yeah. Well, I've got a player. I don't know if you guys have any more underrated, but I do have
one more. I want to bring it up quick. I'll bring it up quick. It's another baseball player. It's another speedy outfielder. Why is Kenny Lofton not in the Hall of Fame? I don't know, because
also don't know.
This man was one of the most ridiculous baseball players, and also on the Kyle Cool Index, he's a square 9.5. They don't come cooler than Kenny Lofton. This guy, his rookie year, he just decided to hop in, steal 66 bags. Somehow that wasn't good enough for rookie of the year, but hey, what are you going to do? And then just proceeded to hit basically 300 every single year of his career with so many different teams. Even at 40 years old, he still stole 23 bags and batted 283. Oh, I'm sorry. 303. I read that wrong. I mean, in every year of his career, just doing the exact same thing, doing it insanely well, winning, I think, 4 gold gloves. I don't know.
He wasn't in the Hall of Fame.
He's not in the Hall of Fame. It's crazy. Yeah, 68 career WAR, 622 career stolen bases.
That's fucking
not in the Hall of
nuts.
Fame. And he played how long? How many years here?
17 years.
17 years. 4 gold gloves, 6-time All-Star, 299 career batting average. I don't understand it. I never will. Him and Andrew Jones, you could throw him on here too. I don't understand how these guys are not in the Hall of Fame. That's what I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Made that one quick.
Okay. So now shifting gears to overrated players. I've got a little bit of a heater because I'm not questioning this man. I'm not questioning him being a great. I'm not questioning it at all. But of recent years, I feel like we're picking and choosing the stats that we want to tell people. I think we're picking and choosing the sports moments that we want to remember more than others. I think we're picking and choosing playoff records that we want to share and ones that we don't. Because, my God, the Drew Brees dick riding over Aaron Rodgers has gone way too far. Everyone wants to say, Aaron Rodgers, how can you say he's so great? Why hasn't he been to another Super Bowl? You've wasted so many years of Aaron Rodgers' prime. Are we forgetting about Drew Brees? Like, it's almost like they have very identical playoff, like, experiences, I guess. I don't know what the exact records are, but Drew Brees and the Saints of the last decade have just been, being there, and that's it. Never getting over that hump. It's almost the reverse. Last decade's almost been the reverse Packers, because they had some really bad years. Some bad Saints years where they didn't even make playoffs. And the 2 years where we didn't make playoffs in between since we won the Super Bowl were because Aaron was hurt in both of those years. For one of those, he was out for it was like half the year. I forgot what it was. And the year after, he was hurt from the beginning of the year, and just that was the only year he didn't make playoffs. And Mike McCarthy was fired. Sean Payton, regardless of what he's done, has always been one of the best coaches in the NFL. So I'm not doubting how great Drew Brees is with no problem with saying he's amazing. But if we're comparing Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, let's not get it twisted. It's Aaron Rodgers very much over Drew Brees.
Let's not forget here too, in their respective Super Bowl wins, Aaron Rodgers had, I think, what was Pro Football Focus's greatest quarterback performance of all time in a Super Bowl.
Crazy.
Meanwhile, you know what Drew Brees had? A balls to the wall second half start with the onside kick, which they did recover, and Tracy Porter stealing that game against Peyton Manning too.
Yeah.
Like, he got help from special teams. I mean, everything went right in that game for him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, we're choosing what we want to share now. And for some reason, Drew Brees is undisputedly one of the greatest of all time. But Aaron, he never went to another Super Bowl.
Oh,
Stupid.
So some fruits of some quick research here. A lot of times you hear, when it comes to Drew Brees, you hear the same thing with Aaron, like, he hasn't had defenses throughout his career. He's had to carry teams. Drew Brees has had a top 10 scoring defense 13 times.
Oh my God. I didn't even know how ridiculous. I knew it was going to be
13 times. That is insanity. And this man apparently doesn't get enough help. He's had Jimmy Graham, prime Reggie Bush, an amazing Darren Sproles, Marquise Colston, apparently who people think is now a great receiver, or the best in the league, Michael Thomas. I mean, come on. And he's also had maybe the most genius offensive coach you can get.
What's up with the Michael Thomas slander right there?
I just kind of hate Michael Thomas.
Here comes Michael Thomas up the middle.
Michael Thomas is fucking good.
Michael Thomas is good.
He's good. He is not the best receiver in the NFL by any.
Somebody I will be bringing up a little bit later, where they constantly have to dick ride themselves and talk about how great they are all the time, and it gets a little bit annoying.
Michael Thomas, that's the thing, is like people say he's the best receiver in the league. He is not the best receiver. There are so many other receivers that you can point to being better than Michael Thomas. But yeah, it comes down.
I can guarantee. Sorry, I just got to get this out there. None of them have a better Twitter @ than Michael Thomas. That's all I'll say. Can't guard Mike. Fire.
Nobody waits for better Twitter @ than Michael Thomas, because following him stinks.
No one needs it.
Oh my God.
No one needs their @ being that. What's Julio's? I think it's just Julio Jones. He doesn't need to tell people they can't guard him. We know nobody can guard Julio Jones.
Nobody says, and he doesn't say anything. When is the last time you saw Julio Jones having to prop himself up with stats?
Yeah,
I mean,
never
these right now are some boomer takes. We don't like guys stroking themselves off. I'm not here for that.
Also,
here's the big thing. Not only is he just trying to always retweet his own stats about how great he is, he always is the one
I'll be
crying
honest,
on Twitter when it comes to the
I'm
Saints
not
got
good enough.
screwed by the refs 2 years in a row in the playoffs. Saints got
Sign
screwed.
this petition.
Shut
Like he's the type of, he would DM all of his followers, sign this petition that we have to replay the Vikings game.
I'm not disagreeing
Or
with
the-
you on
the
some
Rams.
points. You guys just seem like you're picking and choosing
Well, okay.
on people you like to be cocky.
Well, okay, let's look at. No,
There's being cocky, and then there's just being annoyingly. I like guys who are like cocky, but also like funny and like cool about it. Like I don't know. I would much rather watch a cocky
You
guy.
just don't like the way he does it.
Yeah, exactly. Not all cockiness is created equal. This is not Chad Johnson cocky. Chad Johnson cocky is the best.
I
the
was
kind of shit I want to see.
I was just gonna say the last thing I'll say about Michael Thomas. Another receiver in the league. Michael Thomas has never had Chad Johnson cry while watching his route running. So
Facts. No, that's facts. Yeah.
and Devontae has. So
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
that's all I got to talk. Last thing I'm saying about Michael Thomas and Drew Brees.
Yeah, Drew Brees.
He's just
lately,
he's just
my
a little
God.
misremembered. He's a great QB, just a little misremembered.
He played in the perfect era too because he threw for an absolute boatload of yards coming in at like the perfect time. He's gonna get passed on yards and statistics wise a million times over.
Yep.
Drew Brees is a classic case of nothing but an accumulator.
I like that.
I like
Like
that.
all time, I mean, he's not in my top 10 quarterbacks ever. 15.
No, haven't even thought
I
about
could
it.
probably name 20 quarterbacks I'd rather have all time than Drew Brees.
I don't know about 20.
I think I
20
could.
would be.
I gotta get a list.
Yeah, you'd have to you have to make some. I feel like almost some leaps a little bit, but no, yeah, it's just like it's just recently. It's just been so much Drew Brees love, and it's like. I just don't want it to be in like another 10 years. We're saying, oh, Aaron Rodgers, very overrated. Never went to another Super Bowl, but yet Drew Brees,
I think you're gonna get that take.
You don't
Because
think so?
No, I don't think so because
Okay.
watching Aaron Rodgers was always more exciting than watching Drew Brees. And like to understand Drew Brees' greatness, you have to look at the numbers. To understand Aaron Rodgers' greatness,
You'll
you have to
watch
watch
it.
like 5 games.
Right.
And then you're like, oh,
Yeah,
that
he's
suddenly
nuts.
makes a lot of sense.
That's true. A Drew Brees highlight reel would not be
Would
nearly as
stink.
impressive. Yeah.
It's throwing to Michael Thomas or Marquise Colston in the slant,
Yup.
watching them do the work.
Yep. Here comes Michael Thomas. That's my favorite meme.
God, I don't want to step in front of you, but my most overrated player is also an NFL quarterback, so I figure I'd hop in.
Oh no, feel free.
I'm excited for this.
My most overrated player, at least one of them, comes in at number 17 on the NFL's top 25 quarterbacks of all time.
Ooh. And that's the
Don't get me
official
wrong.
NFL.
I understand it was a different era, yada, 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 blah, blah, bullshit. But Terry Bradshaw was mediocre at best. Terry Bradshaw. Career 51.9% completion percentage, 212 touchdowns to 210 interceptions. He had 4 seasons where he threw over 20 touchdowns while having 5 seasons while throwing over 20 picks. He threw for 201 yards per game. Terry Bradshaw sucked.
Imagine if Jameis Winston was in that position.
Imagine
how many rings he'd have.
Super Bowls.
Look, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I don't hate this take, but I am gonna play devil's advocate.
Play it.
A lot of Terry Bradshaw's career was played before they moved out the hashes, and when that happened, I think it was like 70.
5 seasons with 20 picks.
Look, I get it. I think that's just kind of how the game was played back then. If you wanted to say
I don't care.
they all just stunk, and that's why the game was played back then, I'm listening. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I do think he was more a product of his era.
I don't care.
I think the same about Jameis, so
I simply do not care.
Get Jameis shit out of here.
he's a product of his era. He's launching it.
There's not one thing about Terry Bradshaw pre, during, or post career that gets me going.
Oh.
Terry Bradshaw is one of the most lukewarm type of people I have ever encountered.
No.
Okay.
Terry Bradshaw
Okay.
in his prime Fox Sports debut, his prime years, was fire.
Also, I don't want you to forget, the man played through shingles.
That's true.
I don't care.
It's true.
He broadcasted through shingles, and that doesn't get enough credit.
That is very true.
People forget that.
He has had some great Fox Sports pregame show moments. He's getting older now, and you can really tell they kind of just let him do whatever he wants now. But Tara has had some great Fox Sports moments.
Tara Bradshaw.
I'm down for slandering the player, but not the person.
I like Tara.
Yeah.
Never.
Slander Howie Long. Go ahead.
yeah. I like Howie too.
I gotta be honest. I that was the best pregame show, and Zach and I have talked about this for the last few years. Like growing up, that was the preeminent pregame show. Nowadays, even with it's the same guys, but I don't know what changed. It just stinks now.
Yo, I think I don't know what year it was where I started watching pregame closely, but from early mid 2000s to 2013, maybe even 14, 15. But the last couple of years, it just hasn't been the same. A little overrated.
You guys are big pregame guys. Personally,
I do like the pregame show.
I don't really fuck with pregame. Maybe that's why I'm a little jaded on Terry Bradshaw.
That's fair.
Because I don't get the full experience. But
you don't get the full Terry experience.
Yeah, I don't know. I just something about pregame for any sport I just have never really been a fan of. So
I like it. It just gets me in a mood. I sit on my phone, set my lineup, see what's going on in the world. Hear Jay Glazer, who's a great guy. I love Jay Glazer.
Jay Glazer's sick.
But there is one guy who has ruined that show in general for me. Rob Riggle. That mother-fucker is not funny.
Comedians.
I have never seen a single person laugh at a Rob Riggle joke.
I've seen you laugh at a Rob Riggle.
Very ironically, I have never authentically laughed at a Rob Riggle joke.
Even if the man is batting .050, he's still batting something. I've seen you chuckle. I watch almost every Sunday. I've seen it a couple times. You have chuckled at a Rob Riggle joke.
Because I hate him. It's always been ironic.
You can bat 2 for 100. That's still 2 hits.
Get out of here with the Rob Riggle defense, Kyle. No, we are not letting this happen. No.
Happen.
He is not funny. He is not funny in the slightest.
Think
Kyle thinks he's funny because he likes slapstick.
I have seen you laugh a few times, though.
No, I point it out next time. Name one. Name one time I laughed at him. You can't.
Oh, am I supposed to be sitting here remembering individual Rob Riggle skits? No. You are not pulling that card. Absolutely not.
This man.
But I have seen you chuckling over some Rob Riggle jokes, unironically. Do not start.
If you have the receipts, you can show them, but frankly, you do not. So, until then, I have never seen a human laugh at a Rob Riggle joke. And I will never. I would love to see you prove it. Because it doesn't exist. It's like proven Bigfoot.
My God.
Fuck Rob Riggle.
Boy.
Yeah.
I was not ready for some Riggle talk.
I wasn't either, frankly. I'm getting real sweaty, worked up about it.
He's not funny. But
you think he is?
Every once in a while. I don't think he's the least funny. But he's not funny.
He is such a bottom tier funny person. He's bottom tier. I don't know many people less funny than Rob Riggle.
I think he just puts in so much effort that it's like every once in a while it's just like it's kind of it can be a little funny.
I'm not talking about Rob Riggle
Again,
anymore.
this is something I cannot speak on because my only experience with Rob Riggle is in Well, he's in Step Brothers, right? I don't know.
No,
No.
he's always like
Maybe.
a side character in every.
Yeah.
And he's always
Yeah.
the worst part of every movie.
Oh, shut up!
It's true.
The
That
hate
man's
is
not
too far.
funny.
Okay, I want to shift gears
Okay.
Please.
before I absolutely lose my voice yelling, because I'm about to do some yelling.
Oh no.
So, there is one player who stands above any other when it comes to being significantly the most overrated player of all time. We talked about this a little before. These two know what's coming. Jerry Rice is single-handedly the most overrated football player of all time, and it is not close. You want to talk Drew Brees stat accumulations? That's Jerry Rice to a T. This guy, you want to know the quarterbacks that Jerry Rice had played under? Jerry Rice had played for here are 5 quarterbacks Jerry Rice played under. Joe Montana, Steve Young, 3-time Pro Bowler Jeff Garcia, and MVP of 2002 Rich Gannon.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? And we're talking about this guy, and you think he's the one carrying all these quarterbacks? That's 5, count them, 5 MVPs between those quarterbacks. But this is supposed to be the cog that makes it all work? You will get out of here. He's not better than Calvin Johnson. He's not better than Julio Jones. He's not better than a whole cavalcade of receivers. Most important among them, he's not better than Randy Moss. Stop it. It's impressive that you can play till you're 40. I just think it's a vastly overrated thing just to play for a long time.
I have one thing to say about Jerry Rice. No man, and I mean no man, who ran a 4.7 140 is the greatest wide receiver of all fucking time. Get the hell out of here with that shit.
Oh, and I love that too, because Jerry Rice
Never
always
been caught from
claims,
behind.
never been caught from behind. There are plenty of clips of Jerry Rice being caught from behind. And also, the man never shuts up about trying to prop up his own accomplishments. It is insane how this guy is in his 50s, and yet he still is crying when there's already a billion people who think he is the greatest football player ever, and he's still crying about it.
Yep.
Jerry Rice is a loser, and Jerry Rice is the most overrated receiver of all time.
I'm cool with saying Jerry Rice is overrated.
The most.
I'm cool with him saying he's overrated. But I think I have to give the listeners a little context of this argument of maybe why I'm a little cooler on it. Kyle is comparing this man to Christian Kirk, and I won't let him live that down now.
To be fair, I was extremely drunk and trying to piss off his brother by saying Christian Kirk would take Jerry Rice's lunch money. That being said, if you put an average receiver in those offenses and with those quarterbacks, I think any of those guys would be a Hall of Famer today.
I can get down with that.
Jordy Nelson would be a first ballot, one of the greatest receivers of all time if he was in that system.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think you could just put, and also not to just to keep it going, he also played under Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh, the guy who revolutionized the West Coast offense. So they were doing these things way before defenses were even ready to stop them. And so he just got to eat out of the most generous plate ever given to a single NFL player. Ever. He couldn't even go to a D1 school. What are we talking about?
This man accumulated stats so hard. In his age 42 season, he got traded to Seattle. Before, they played a Sunday game, or I think it was a Thursday night game. Then he got traded on Friday and played for the Seahawks on Sunday so he could get 17 games in a season instead of just 16.
Jeez.
The man loved his stats.
I mean, and he just doesn't stop about it either. He never has. Just,
you know what? I'm kind of starting to see the how cocky can not be good now.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Not the fun, cool one version.
Well, Jerry Rice sucks. I mean, his personality sucks. Everything about the man, not fun.
Well, I gotta ask you guys one thing though. Do you guys wear Hanes?
No.
Because of Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I think he was the face of Hanes, or maybe that's just Steve Young.
No, I think he was doing Hanes also.
Okay.
I think he was doing Hanes after Michael Jordan did a Hanes commercial with a Hitler mustache.
Oh, what?
You don't remember this?
No.
Look it up. Michael Jordan did a commercial for Hanes, rocking. He's like on an airplane in an airplane seat, and he's rocking a Hitler mustache.
Oh,
Absolutely no reason.
Oh,
And it's
no.
like it's Michael Jordan. Anyone gonna be in there and be like, "Hey, Mike,
Take that off.
do the shave."
Oh my god. Oh wow. Oh, that's a bad look
man.
for Mike. Why the
I
fuck?
mean, Jerry Rice wasn't even the best receiver on several of his own teams. Terrell Owens, a far better receiver than Jerry Rice. Tim Brown, you could convince me he was better than Jerry Rice. I have no issue with that. I mean, we're talking accumulators of accumulators here. Nonsense.
Fair enough. You guys got anything else for the people?
One thing I will say, Derek Jeter, very overrated. I don't need to rehash that. Derek Jeter, one of the most overrated, overhyped baseball players of not only the 20th and 21st century, of all time.
I gotta be honest, I'm kind of proud of us right now because we didn't just replay the hits and start talking about old-timey players.
Babe Ruth, overrated.
Yeah,
do we want to get onto old players? I can.
No, I think we're good. We did a good job sticking with guys for the most part, like past the 90s.
We'll get an episode. We'll all just get really drunk and roast old people.
I'm game.
Sounds like
I'm
those
here
other
for it.
episodes. Let's do it.
Yeah. No kidding. But yeah, that does it here. Can't believe we brought up Rob Riggle. I'm a little upset about that.
I can't believe we yelled about Rob Riggle.
I can.
That's not better.
Well, I was going to say, he brought up Rob Riggle. Don't bring that on us here.
I did bring up Rob Riggle. Sometimes it really be yourself. Well,
nobody made him.
Hey, if anyone out there has laughed at a Rob Riggle joke, let us know on social media at the Farmcast Pod. You can follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at the Farmcast Pod.
Also TikTok.
And Fenner. Hell yeah. Let us know. Follow Fenner at Doc Firmer. Or is it Firmer Doc? I don't know anymore. Okay, fair enough.
I own both.
Also, follow us on all streaming platforms for more podcast episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. Also on video on YouTube. Get us all there. Leave a 5-star review if you're on Apple. Also, like, subscribe, follow on YouTube and other platforms, and comment.
Please leave us a 5-star review. Comment and let us know who are your most overrated and underrated players of all time, and why is your most overrated also Jerry Rice. Feel free to let us know in the comments down below, and also feel free to leave a comment on things we should rank in the future. We're eventually going to be doing a top 3, bottom 3, where we're going to be shouting out somebody, so just keep on pouring them in. Yeah. We got a bunch coming in already, so you could be the next.
Yeah, a lot to choose from. A lot of people already.
Oh, yeah.
We aren't even joking about that. We have a lot of suggestions. Also, let us know your most underrated player and why it's Jameis Winston. But that does it here for us at the Farmcast. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Have a fantastic day. Have a great time. Do amazing. All of that stuff. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned, and bye.